Hey, I got a little story for you guys today. Now I actually didn't know if I wanted to, tell this story because of, well, you can tell by the title that this is gonna be about my first time getting high. Like I said, I didn't know if I wanted to put this out because, I didn't want if my parents were to find out about this channel, then it would inevitably lead them to this video too. And that's not what I wanted, but they found out anyways not too long ago, so I'm not too worried about that. But anyways, that's all. Just enough rambling for now. I am going to be talking about the first time I've got high. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It happened a few years ago, and what better time to say it than now? I kind of wanted to tell this story. Not usually, because I haven't done much, but I'm not using a script or anything. This is just gonna be straight from my head, which I feel is the better way to tell stories. When they come straight from your mind. There's not too much thinking into it. You're just kind of saying it how it is. So it's gonna be the method I go for. So it's gonna be a little bit of like just me just talking about what the fuck happened, but I remember it very vividly. So there's a ton I have to say about this. So this story starts all the way back in ninth grade. This is like 2017, 2018 type shit. This is like 4 years ago. Yeah. I'm in college now. I'm a freshman in college. And yeah, this was in ninth grade. So before this, I actually told myself that I would never, ever do like drugs. I was always raised under the impression that like I should never do these things, But as I grew older, I sort of like opened my mind up more because I knew that they weren't just strictly all bad, I knew there was no way that everything that came out of drugs were bad. So yeah, one day one of my friends hit me up and they asked, do you want to get high? And I was like, at the time I actually was okay with the idea of doing it. I just started my first year of high school, and I don't know, I felt like it was me just growing up and stuff. So it was during lunch. I was just sitting down, and then my friend comes up to me and he's like, yo, come on, let's go to the bathroom. So I was like, oh, all right. And so when I'm in there, he pulls out this little thing out of his pocket, and it's a fucking pen, a wax pen, a cart, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It was that. And I know what you're thinking. Dan, that was your first time doing that? Yeah. And it was pretty fucked that was my first time doing that. But I'll go on with the story. We're in the bathroom, and it's just us, There's no one else. There's no other students. There's obviously no teachers in there. And this was before, vaping and all that stuff became like so huge. So there wasn't really no like regulations or anything. There was no like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. So he tells me to like, press the button and then like hit it for a few seconds, then stop and then inhale and, hold it in for a few more seconds. So that's what I did. First time around, I didn't feel anything. I didn't cough. I didn't feel anything. So I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Because, my dumb ass thought that I was supposed to feel something like instantly at that moment. So then they were like, just take another one then. So that's what I did. I took another one, which in hindsight was a very bad idea. So once I did that, I felt nothing again. And I felt like it was such a letdown. Like I thought people hyped this thing up so much, but it doesn't do anything. So I was like, whatever, doesn't matter. I walk out, we all, get in line to get our lunch. And as I'm standing in line, boom, that shit smacks me in the fucking face. It was the hardest transition I think I've ever had. Like, it was just straight panic after that. For some reason, I felt like everyone was looking at me. I felt like everyone was like smiling, laughing at me, I don't know. I just got so fucking anxious and paranoid out of nowhere. It's like my vision zoomed out, And I was just, whole time I was just standing in line. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Because that was the first time in like so fucking long that I've had like a panic attack like that. Like I used to get those as like a kid, but I didn't know what it was, I didn't know that was anxiety until it happened again so many years later, right now. And it was happening. And I got a panic attack. It gave me a panic attack and I was freaking out. I just wanted it to end. I got my lunch. I went back to my table and sat down with my head down the entire time. I honestly wanted to cry. I really wanted to like call my mom. I wanted to go home. That's how fucking bad it was. I was just so paranoid and scared. But this is where the story takes a big turn. Leading up to this, what I've described to you guys is a bad trip or like a bad experience, but as you know, that's not 100% what it is. So once the bell rings, I go up to my next period, which was algebra 1. This is like this is my first year taking algebra in ninth grade. So I'm sitting in class, and then I start to notice that my anxiety and my paranoia starts to leave, and it starts to get replaced with straight up just laughter. I always thought it was like, I never believed them when they said that people got, the munchies or got hungry or just laughed at everything when they got high, until it happened to me. I was just sitting in class, and I swear everything just became funny. I look to the left of my friend, and he literally looks fake. He looks like a cartoon. Like, he does not look like he belongs in reality. He literally looks like the SpongeBob. I'll put up a picture of that fucking SpongeBob image of him with the squeaky clean ass face. You guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, he looked exactly like that, and it felt like his face was like animated. It was so hilarious. Like his face was just so smooth. Hey yo, like I don't even mean to sound like that. It was just like funny as hell to me. And that's when I noticed, like, holy shit, this thing isn't that bad. Like, yeah, I may have gotten like a little panic attack at the beginning, but that only really lasted for so long, that I was just completely like in a good mood now. And for the entire period, everything was funny to me. Some of my friends even caught on that I was, high, because I was just so out of it, and I was just laughing at everything. And I guess, when you do it for the first time, it's obvious, you give out that vibe that you're geeking out. You don't know what the fuck to do. You're just laughing or you're just saying weird shit. So yeah, that's what happened to me. The period went on. Nothing really happened. Everything was still just funny. But as time went on, I started to feel like it was lessening and lessening, which was okay with me. I was okay with that. It was starting to leave because, at the beginning I wanted it to end so bad, and then it became not so bad. But now I'm just okay with just being sober now, So the periods went on. By the last period, I was already like probably just, probably like 90% sober or something, like I was just chilling now. And I felt like a big boy. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I felt like I was growing up. That was a big coming of age moment for me. First time getting high, like I said, it was so like looked down upon, with my family, and I with a lot of yours too. A lot of parents don't, forbid that, mind you at least, and they don't want that or anything. They don't want that for their children at least, but they're not fully aware of why we do it and the effects of it. They're so stuck in their old ways and their old beliefs of it, but that's besides the point. I went home, feeling like the man, because, I kind of tackled on this, this experience, and it was pretty cool, After this, I was okay with the idea of doing it, I realized that it wasn't as bad that, Dare makes it seems, or whatever these fucking ads you see on YouTube or whatever fuck, or on TV, that depict such a bad view of these drugs, or at least with weed or whatever the fuck. So, because of that moment, my eyes have now opened. I now have a newfound appreciation of life. I now understand that there's more angles to life when you're off other substances. You know what I mean? Like, you don't always just have to be completely sober your whole life. You just just smoke a little bit, maybe. It's okay to like drink a little bit. I'm not trying to like support that, or like or I'm not trying to tell you to go like do drugs or any of that, but I think being able to view the world in a different perspective, in a different state of mind, is always eye-opening, and one should always be mindful of that, and never think that people doing these drugs are just doing that out of bad reasons or stuff like that, So that's all I got to say for my story. That was my first time getting high. It was a pretty cool moment. I still remember everything vividly as fuck. That was such like a big moment for me. Like, I will never forget that moment. Nothing ever tops your first time getting high, or your first few times getting high. You'll never get like that again. So I remember this is like 4 or 5 years ago. I remember this so much, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Peace.